Hello, this is the Tools, Tips, and Teamwork talk show with Ted Liman, and I am Marion LaSalle, and this is Russ Johns.
Hey, everyone.
Good morning, good afternoon, good day, wherever you are in the world.
How is Ted today? Tell us what you're up to, Ted. Tell us who you are.
Yeah, doing great, and just very excited to be on a Tuesday because Monday is the day of opportunity, and Tuesday is the day where we execute a lot of stuff, and then Wednesday, of course, is known as the hump day. But Tuesday, that's where I see where we can really get a lot of stuff done. So excited to be on a Tuesday.
So this show, we've had several shows leading up to this show, I believe, Ted.
Mm-hmm.
The topic, meaning of trusted with little things. The being trusted with the small details will allow us to work up to growing bigger details, right?
Right.
So expand on that concept and share what your thoughts are today.
Sure, absolutely. I got this saying since I was a little boy, right? If you can be trusted with little things, then you will not be given bigger things. And to me, I was just thinking like, okay, it's probably because of my age. They want me to do little things first before I do bigger things. But the more I think of it, the more I go through with the corporate world and then later on having my own businesses, I understand that a little bit better than just a saying of, I'll give you little stuff before I give you bigger stuff. And even a long time ago, I was thinking like, okay, does that mean that I need to do $1 million project before I can do $100 million project? Or does that mean that before my mom gives me $100 to go buy something at the grocery store, I need to buy something at 10? And right. If that's the case, then when will people be able to grow in a timely manner? Talking about like people who is running a project at $1 billion magnitude or $6 billion magnitude, how can they be given that kind of opportunity if they actually have to climb up those ladders? So there is an intrinsic meaning. It's not about the size, but it's about the details.
Yeah, well, and we're talking about details. I mean, the smallest details, as you know, can unravel the biggest projects, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you know that if there's some challenges, getting a compressor on a roof and the door is a 1/4 inch too small. That's a small detail. However, it's a huge roadblock in a project.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. Yeah.
So I guess the other way to look at this in our day-to-day lives, and especially online, is there are 10,000 details we have to look at, and information is coming at us more and more, and we know we're going to stumble on some details occasionally. However, if we train ourselves to look at the details, then we'll have better luck in the longer term goals, right?
Yeah, that's right. And at the end of it, really, when somebody, let's say, come and ask you, hey, Rush, you know anybody who is who can help me, who can help my company in the social media? Can you say, yeah, go get Marion? She's great. She knows a lot about it. She knows the details. She knows how to set it up, how to market it. She will check with the copyright laws, blah, blah, blah. Or will they say like, I know who you're talking about. You're talking about John Doe. I used that person last time and it was not a good experience.
Right.
So those are the things that people are looking for, those kind of details. Now, so far, if people don't know the future media, TV right here, you guys are awesome. I mean, literally, you guys are always here. You're always on time. And when you get to the show, you're ready. I don't remember coming into the show And then Russ is saying like, oh yeah, Marion is still on her way, she'll be here in about 7 minutes. Really sorry, folks, but we don't have that experience. And we've been doing this for 4 months or so by now.
Yeah.
No. We've been doing it since, I remember Christmas, we were already doing it. So I think we did it in November. So we've been doing this for a while.
Time flies when we're having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you guys never fail. You guys are always there. And when you're there, you're ready, So that to me gives me the comfort when somebody asks me, do you know anybody who can help me with the social media, with video, with graphic design? Easily, Future Media. Go get Future Media. They know what they're doing. They can help you. And they're great hosts. I can tell them that easily.
Yeah.
And those kind of details are what people are really looking for.
I appreciate that. And I have
that is very much appreciated.
Thank you. Yes, I do appreciate that because it's true. Russ and I not only love what we do, but we have a commitment to all of our clients, all of our associates, all of our partners. We just really feel connected. My question on the details.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and that doesn't mean that we do everything perfect all the time.
Oh, I'm perfect. Speak for yourself.
I'm speaking for myself.
Yeah, Marianne is perfect, by the way.
Yeah, she's perfect. I'm the imperfect one. I'm the black sheep. I'm a fun-loving criminal. So, this process that we go through in business, especially, when you're first graduating in business, it's really, you have to develop some of these traits, right, yeah. Ted? About how to really build the principle of details and how they all fit together. It's like connecting the blocks, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so how do you get to understand what that means, and how do you develop that trait, that instinct of what to do and what to pay attention to? Is there anything, how have you developed that?
Yeah, what I've learned in that word of wisdom, you need to be trusted with little things before you go to bigger things. What I have learned on that, really, the intrinsic meaning of that are 4 things. People are looking for your thoroughness, your knowledge, your integrity, and your persistence. That's what they're looking for. If you have all those 4 categories, it doesn't matter if you've done a project of magnitude of $10 million or not. But if you have those 4 things, people will say, you know what, this company here, they've never done a project this big, but we know that they can do it right. They know they will get it done. You see, haven't you ever heard of something like that? That person never done that, but I know he can do it.
Yeah, he may not have had that personal experience. However, because I know what he does, he has all the skills to do that particular project.
Right. Like, who is that? The CEO of Yahoo, Marisa Hayden. Yeah. She came from marketing of Facebook. And when people hired her a long time ago, that's exactly what they said. They said she's never been a CEO before, but we know with her work ethics, with the thoroughness, knowledge, integrity, and persistence, she will be able to revive Yahoo, which she did.
She made a huge impact.
Oh yeah. Yahoo actually, when she came in, I can't remember the details. I think the stock was about like $8 or something like that. Right after she came in, she brought it up to what it is the value now. I think it's about $38 or so per stock. And unfortunately, she hits a ceiling right now. I mean, that's a different conversation. But those are the kind of things that you want to be when people say they can be trusted. If you can be trusted with little things, getting it done, you're not bored with it, you're not being stagnant about it, and you get up every morning getting it done whether you want it or not. Those are the kind of things that people want to have in their team.
Right. Yeah. Marion, you had a question?
I do. It's a comment and a question for both of you.
Okay.
So, in the details, one of the things that I have found in all the companies I've worked with, worked for, worked around, and been associated with all the complaints that people have, the detail of communication can bring it down. Like the smallest to the largest company I have seen them just crash because of the details of communication. So if people just gloss over communication, it's gone. It's done.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Have you guys noticed that?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And let me see if I can try to pull a reference on the communication. Well, I don't know if you guys know, but in the Army, when they say a 9, they don't say number 9 over the radio. They say niner, because it got confused with 1. And so when they say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, niner, they wanted to make sure that it goes through like that. It's a niner. It's 9, not 1 or 5. Yeah. So you have, and actually the entire armed forces, they changed that kind of line of communication because there was a mistake. And now I remember there were 2 airplanes. One is trying to take off, the other one is trying to land, and the flight number are actually very similar to each other, and those kind of details were actually mixed up. So one was landing, one was taking off, and they crashed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you're right. Details in communication is very important.
And the opposite.
I know that. Go ahead, Russ. Sorry.
Oh, I was going to say the opposite of that is over communicating and get analysis paralysis. So
that's fine.
Which is another. We had that conversation earlier. So if you want to listen to that episode, you can go back and listen to that episode. So
okay, that's nice. And also, another thing is, since we're talking about this, lately I've been hearing a lot of business owners, and of course we're talking about like smaller business owners, solopreneurs and whatnot. They keep on coming to me and say, my mentor said this, my coach said that, mentor coach. And let me actually just use this 1 minute, if you would allow me, just trying to clarify to people here. It's great that you have a mentor. It's great that you have a coach. Keep in mind, there are absolutely 2 different things. Okay, so coach will be able to help you reach your highest potential. So coach has never been there, has never done that, but he or she can help you reach your destiny. Mentor, supposedly, is somebody who has done what you're trying to reach. And therefore, that person will be able to tell you, this is what I did, this is how I did it, this is what you should do. So in the case that you're getting or hiring a mentor, trying to help you reach a revenue of, let's say, $2 million a year, make sure the mentor has done that. If the mentor has not done that, that's okay, but that's called a coach. So I want to make that clear so that you don't fall under the impression that my mentor asked me to do this, such and such and such. I hired him for this, but if he or she has never done it, it's a coach.
Right.
2 different things, right? It's like Michael Jordan. The coach can never be as great as Michael Jordan, but the coach can help him reach his potential.
That is a fascinating way to describe that, Ted. And
I love that. I love that.
Yes. No wonder mentors get paid more.
Yeah, and I feel sorry for people actually who are paying hundreds and thousands of dollars for mentors, but the more I listen to it, this is not mentorship. It's more like coaching. So I just wanted to let you guys know. So if you want to get a mentor, It's okay. Be sure the person has gone through what you're trying to reach. Otherwise, I always believe it like that. If I'm trying to be in the airplane manufacturing industry, then I would have to hire somebody who's been in that industry so he or she can help me. But if I just need a coach that can help me explore different industries other than oil and gas, then that's a coach.
Right.
And,
Well,
and
like the
they get paid
football
differently,
players, right?
they
They
speak
have a
differently, and you pay them differently.
Yeah.
Right. A football player coach may not have ever been a football player. However, they can coach them on what to do and where to go. A mentor, wow, they've been where you are wanting to go.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. So
That's
thank you for giving me
nuggets of knowledge in the show worth listening to. So
Right.
Yeah. So thank you. But I just feel like I needed to say that because I just feel a lot of people are spending money on mentors, but they're not hiring mentors.
they're just
hiring coaches.
they're hiring coaches.
That's true. That's true. Thank you.
And one other thing about that, Ted, that I think people underestimate is, sometimes your mentors come in the form of reading books. I mean, there's a lot of knowledge that you can actually acquire from people that have been there, done that. They bought, they went to the show, they did everything. And you can actually acquire a lot of knowledge from noticing what other people are doing, what successful habits are taking place, so.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely. Absolutely right. So, on going back to little things, what we were talking about.
Back to the topic.
Back to the topic. So talking about the little things. So here's the thing. Have you guys been to Walmart before? And then you ask people like, hey, can you show me where the soap is? Can you show me where the whiteboard is? Have you ever?
Yeah, where would I find a piece of string? Right.
Right. And guess what they do? They say right over there, aisle 5. Right?
Yeah, I think I saw it in aisle 10 a couple days ago. They might have moved it though.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
They might have moved it, but I think it's somewhere in there. They might have moved it. So the reason why I want to bring that up is that's actually exactly the response that we get from Walmart employees. And guess what? I know somebody that works in Walmart as a pharmacist.
Uh-huh.
During her orientation, the training says if a customer ever asks you where something is, you cannot just point. You have to take them to that place. You see? So this is going back to little things. If you can be trusted with little things.
Right.
If Walmart actually can see you being trusted with little things like that, it's easy for them to promote you to become a team leader, supervisor, store manager.
Right.
Right. However, if you can't be trusted with just little things like that, where they say, if somebody asks for something, you bring them there, but they actually just say, oh yeah, it's somewhere in there. I've seen it last week. That's exactly what we're talking about today.
So those are. How does that tie in with work ethic too?
Oh yeah, it's everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
okay.
Go ahead, Mary.
It's hard for the employee. I'll tell you why. My daughter talked me into going to work for Garden Ridge. They're no longer in business. They were accumulated. But while I was there, I did notice that my managers expected certain things of me. And those darn customers would make me stop and take them and show them and do. And so I couldn't get my work done. So it was a problem, honestly. Those darn customers.
So what you have is diametrically opposed goals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deliver the customers to the objects in the store and get your work done at the same time.
Exactly. So see, there's there's different sides to every story.
Well, there's always two sides.
I'm not dismissing what Marianne is saying. It is absolutely right. Now, do you know that your team leader is given the task of getting feedback from you guys? You see, if your team leader did not ask that question, hey, are you guys okay? For example, why are you running behind? Are you okay? Is there a lot of disturbance from the customers or blah, 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 blah? See, the team leader is given that task. So if your team leader never asks you those kind of questions to get feedback from you, then he cannot be trusted with little things.
It goes right up the chain of command then.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. These kind of companies, they are systematic, especially like franchises like that, Home Depot, Garden Bridge, and Walmart. They have their systems. So someone cannot be trusted with little things, and therefore the system crashes. And that's exactly why people cannot hire or put their money on someone they cannot be trusted. Yeah, like with me, for example, right? I'm in oil and gas industry. Whenever I have a project, I have to hire people for the project. So it can be for 6 months, it can be for 1 year or 1.5 years, or whatever the project might need.
Right.
When I try to sort through my Rolodex or LinkedIn nowadays,
right,
I actually take a look at. I try to remember how this person performed. Is he the kind of person that's reliable? Is he always there on time? Is he always a show or a no-show? If he is given a challenge, does he tackle that, or does he actually just slip it away, or does he actually just pass it on to somebody? And when, for example, if the project requires you to work overtime because we are meeting a deadline that is set by the government, do people get grouchy and stir the entire pot to become a negative aura? Or is he actually just persisting, saying, hey guys, a couple of more days, let's go, let's do it? You see, I ask those questions. I want to know how they would react, because if the answer is no, he is not reliable, no, he's a no-show all the time, and then no, whenever there's a challenge, he just sits down and try to take advantage of the time, then I cannot hire those kind of people.
No. Well, and especially in teams where everybody has to work together for a common goal, it's really important to have some personality in the room that, they not only can you be a leader, but you need to be a follower when it's appropriate, right?
Yeah.
You have to work together. That's what I really love and enjoy about Marion is it's so easy for us to work together because it just feels like it's there's no friction, right? There's no ego involved in that. It's like we each do our part and we can pick up the ball and run with it when we need to. And that's what teamwork is all about. And also encouragement. When somebody in your business needs to focus a little more on the details, like you're saying, the team leader needs to point that out and say, hey, Russ, there's a couple of things that you're missing here. I'd like you to pay attention to this detail a little more. And as you know, Ted, working with so many people and developing so many projects, as a coach or a leader of the team, you have to decide where individuals are best placed to fit their skills and their natural tendencies to where they can contribute more to the team. And I think that's really, like the Walmart example, some people are more detail oriented than others. Some people are very oriented to people, connection, and if a team leader would see that personality, the person that's vivacious and outgoing and love to take people around the store and deliver them to the product, right? And the detail-oriented person is probably the one that's going to get the shelves all straight and neat and clean, and everything's going to be in its place, and the inventory is going to be top shelf and everything else. So neither skill is more important than the other. However, we just need to learn how to work around that as leaders, I think, in any industry.
Yeah, absolutely. And people comes with different personality, right? I mean, there are those people that are more managerial than others. There are people who are like more like, leave me alone, let me just go ahead and finish my task, I'm good at doing this. And there are those who are, just like what you said, really outgoing. So they're more into like sales, maybe entrepreneurship kind of thing. And it's okay. Every single one of them can survive with this method right here, being trusted with little things. So if you are a worker, make sure that you still have all those four things. You are thorough, you're knowledgeable, you're honest, and you're persistent.
Right.
If you're a manager, same thing. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're in sales, same thing. And when they can bring those kind of value, same thing with us, right? I mean, a lot of us are business owners. If we can show our customers that we are trustworthy, we treat every project like it's our own project. We make sure every aspect of deliverables are achieved. No excuses to get the job done. The permit is not approved, blah, 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 blah. I mean, that's your task. So you do it. And,
right.
As the history will show that this project that you touch is a success, and every project you touch is a success, then of course people will definitely, without a doubt, can trust you with bigger things. I mean, it's an easy deal when somebody asks you, hey, all right, Russ, you're gonna be playing. You're gonna have two teams right here, basketball teams. I have 10 people right there. Why don't you choose? Why don't you choose the players, right? And you get to choose 5. Somebody else got to choose 5. And then if you see NBA players in there, without a doubt, you'll choose them. You'll choose those players out of anybody else, because NBA players, they are very disciplined. They practice every day.
Right.
They actually, if I'm not mistaken, if my memory serves me right, in their contract, if during game time, they have to sleep like 10 hours before the day of the game for responsiveness or something like that, the way that the brain works.
Right.
And my wife asked me, like, why are they wearing a suit and a tie? They're basketball players. I told her it's in the contract.
Yeah.
I mean, at the court, they can be wearing whatever they want, but when they come out from the locker room, they have to wear a suit and a tie.
Yeah. There's certain requirements and conditions. I used to work for the Seattle Sonics when they were in Seattle, so there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that people don't realize. So wrap this show up for us, this content, the details, the devil's in the details, as they say. So as entrepreneurs, how would you capture this essence of what we need to do, and what's the takeaway we can have for today, Ted?
Sure. Well, in this case, size matters. Size matters, and don't treat project like, it's small, I don't care. No, every single thing that you do, people are watching, believe it or not. They might not tell you immediately that we are watching you, we want to know how you work, but they watch you.
Right.
And if you think that the world is big, it's not. The world is small. Everybody knows everybody. I mean, in the industry, of course, everybody knows everybody. So if you're doing great, everybody knows. If you're performing the other way around, everybody knows. So keep that in mind. Every single thing that you do, pay attention to it, take it personally, and always don't have plan B. Always come up with plan A, and plan A means you have to get it done. You have to get it done successfully, under budget, on time. And when you have those kind of goals, those kind of mentality, everybody will hire you.
Yeah, totally agree.
I love that. Don't have a plan B. And that's what a lot of women say when the future husbands want them to sign the contract that says.
That's too funny.
Sorry, had to throw a little humor in there.
Yeah, what is it? It's the same thing as burn the boats, right?
That's right. Burn the boats, so you have no other way to get home. You just got to do it.
Burn the boats. It's
That's
the same
right.
mindset. It's like, okay, we're doing this. We're going to be successful. That's the only option. Failure is not an option.
Yeah.
Adjustments along the way, of course, will take place, right?
That's
Right.
you know, and that's one of the reasons why I love working with Russ, because he has that mentality. It's going to work. We're going to keep, whether we have to go down and and mow some lawns, we are going to get this done. We're not going to quit. We're going to do this. So I love that.
Those are the little things that will make people trust you guys. Absolutely.
Well, and like you said, and I really appreciate the kind words, Ted. However, we are in a point in history, unlike any other in history, where the people coming up in business in the world of development were born, using the term, they were born with an iPad in their hand, right?
Right.
It's no longer about how am I going to get around the technical reason. It's going to be, especially when we're talking about data and information and sharing information. Video is so powerful when it comes to displaying our personality, who we are, what we do, what we understand, and being able to share that information in a comprehensive way that you can actually develop that relationship with someone you have yet to meet is I think a very powerful tool to cut through the noise and put yourself above the rest of the crowd, right?
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
And so, working through this process and developing these platforms to where business owners like yourself can actually get out there to a larger audience that you've never had a chance to reach before, that's important. That's important work. And I think what we're doing is important work. And there's a lot of people that still don't quite understand what we're doing. And so it's important to understand that we can create something. We are creating something. And if you stay at it and adjust your sails along the way, you'll get to the other side.
Keep your eye on the details, stay persistent, and come back and see us again on the Tools, Technology, and Teamwork Talk Show with Ted Liman. We appreciate you. We're here every single Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. Central Time. Come back and see us again.
Thanks, everyone.